We built it anyway.
And Ringside VR can finally call themselves the best league in the world and take home $500.
Will there be any team to give RSVR a run for their money next season? Hey guys, we're introducing the first team-based VR boxing league the esports scene deserves. A structured professional league built for real competition and lasting stories. 8 teams will participate in a 5-month season with 2 splits and 1 championship playoff to end the season. Outside of the matches, fighters, members, and staff will participate in all forms of media productions, such as the analyst desk, commentary, award shows, ad shoots, backstage interviews, press conferences, and much more, so that everything feels connected and alive. Why does this matter? When most VR tournaments end, everything resets. Narratives disappear, rivalries fade, nothing carries forward. We built UBAE to fix that. A league where teams and players are able to build their own legacy and become the star they've always wanted to be. This isn't a concept, it's already happening. With over 22 events produced and over 300 active fighters, weekly broadcasts and events, and 1,500 members. To support our vision for a narrative-focused team-based VR boxing league, we're looking to raise $5,000 to fully launch Season 1, which allows us to have more broadcasts, a bigger prize pool, consistent content, and expanded production inside the VGA hub. Backers get recognition, access, and a permanent place in the league's history. Back to Kickstarter, join the 24-hour live stream, and be there when Season 1 begins.
Now in hindsight, I never came for the limelight. I shine bright when I train through the night. You can feel the passion on the page when I write. Then keep the rubber to the road when I'm back on the bike. Weave, double jab, step, throw a hook from the right. And got a mean uppercut that'll change your underbite. Shout out to PE, but you better believe the hype. Championship on my shoulder with veteran battle stripes. Progressing through the sweat, you can check my genotype. Now how bad do you want it? No need to moan and gripe. You been waiting for this moment for pretty much all your life. For the people in the back, I rewind to say it twice. It's the thrill of the fight. It's the thrill of the fight. Yo, they ask me why we do it. It's just the thrill of the fight. Stay true and committed to it. It's just the thrill of the fight. Round for round, pound for pound. It's just the thrill of the fight. It's the thrill of the fight. It's the thrill of the fight. Then they ask me why we do it. It's just the thrill of the fight. Stay down and committed to it. Just the thrill of the fight. Round for round, pound for pound. It's the thrill of the fight. Hey yo, purposely we work to be past what they can see. Leave your mind occupied with limited vacancy. Keep your eyes on the prize. No pause in the destiny. With a side of hard work, smell success.
Ringside Beyond can finally call themselves the best league in the world and take home $500.
Will there be any team to give RSVR a run for their money next season?
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to UBAE Week 2, Day 2. We have one matchup. Unfortunately, a matchup between Champions United and Team Muds was canceled today, but we do have a banger matchup for y'all. Ring Reapers versus the 5 Great Kage will be going down here this evening. I'm welcomed and joined by my two commentators, by my two shoulders. We have Gal and Bloom. Introduce yourself, fellas.
Hey, happy to be here. Looking forward to some good fights.
I already know, been here before. What's up, guys?
What's up? What's up?
If you want to say we got ducked, the reason we got ducked, Team Muds, they just didn't want to get embarrassed by Jordan. So that's all I got to say.
Absolutely true. That did happen. I can confirm. They said it in my DMs.
And yeah, I forgot to mention that is a W for Team Muds. So Champion United was not able to pull up, so they get the L.
Yeah, we're 1-1 off of not being able to field a roster. We have a win with it and a loss with it. So hopefully that doesn't happen moving forward.
Team Muds has been struggling, man.
We got those exhibition fights, and the one that we lost automatically, we ended up winning the exhibition for. So we take the moral wins.
Yeah. If only it could be like the GOATs, 2-0.
It's okay, we'll finish out strong.
Hey, how you guys feeling about this roster, though? Ring Reapers having Warhog, Slove, Yo Boy, and in the 5 Great Kage having Jester, Contour, and Clint Steele.
I think it's... Oh, God.
It's interesting because Slove is the type of guy to always put himself in there, and sometimes you just have to question, like, is it a matter of availability between Carbon or Guts? Or is he throwing himself in there over his top players just for the sake of, self-confidence? It could end up biting him here.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this matchup is actually a lot closer than people probably expect. I think most people think 5 Great Kages are going to win, but there's some stylistic matchups that are just going to be hard if they get the right picks. So depending on how Sloth picks his roster against the Great Kages, we could end up seeing a 5-game series. But if you guys try to pick head-to-head, like the best person on Ring Reapers versus the best person on Great Kage, and then go down the list, then Great Kages is going to win. But if you flip it where someone like Slove maybe takes a harder matchup and loses to set up the rest of his team with better matchups, that is where we start to see
Ooh.
some of those interesting things play out.
Sorry to interrupt, but the pick is in for Kage. Contour is now in. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see who he will go up against here for the first matchup of the evening.
Starting off with Contour, definitely a bold pick to start. And I see the idea. It's like he's a good like test the waters type of fighter. I'm just concerned that you just kind of gave out somebody like Contour to YoBoy. You know, YoBoy, I think coming in here has a bit of a smaller room scale, kind of nullifies a lot of Contour's outboxing, you know, decision making, a lot of his angles, a lot of his footwork. I'm just not sure if I would have personally thrown out Contour to begin. I don't know if that's the play I would have made. And it's like, if it works out, it works out. But I'm a little concerned here.
Yeah,
it depends on what the behind the scenes is, like who's ready, who's not. But also, yeah, being the first pick is always rough because you're always just walking in getting countered. So you kind of have to throw in the person you think would be able to counter most of the other team, while also keeping your second pick. You get to counter them. So you kind of like, yeah, you kind of have to like feel it out a bit. And probably Jester might have been the better first pick, but I think either Jester or Contour as first pick is good.
And YoBoy is highlighted, as you were saying, Blue. Yeah, that is the pick. YoBoy is going against Contour for our first matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Reapers versus the 5 Gray Kage.
Yeah, Blue kind of predicted this pick. I don't know if I've seen Contour fight on this damage system, so it's going to be interesting to see. But the footwork is better than YoBoy's, but YoBoy packs the punch. So it all depends on if YoBoy can cut off the ring and get in front of wherever Contour's trying to move.
Yeah, YoBoy's always been one of those guys where he's focused on being the best at the game. He'll do what he needs to for damage. He'll take time to learn on the damage systems. He's there. He doesn't care if he needs to take a few shots. He doesn't care if he needs to turn a boxing match into a fight, you know, a genuine fight. He'll be there to turn it up to the max, to put the knockdowns on you, to put the TKO on you as quick as he can, regardless of circumstance, whether you're shorter, whether you're taller. His hands are nukes, man.
Yep. I do think his biggest weakness, though, is his lack of footwork. The way he makes up for it, I think, in ranked or in some of the spars, from what I've heard, I haven't sparred him since V4, is his room scale is on the smaller side. But now that we have more regulation room scale, he might be unable to catch up with Contour. So let's hope he remembered to make his room scale the right size.
I think adding on to that, I don't know if it's just the footwork. I think just the defensive reaction, like reaction in general, his footwork offensively and defensively. His defense, his forward pressure is very good, but it's kind of linear, you know? Like you said, if somebody else has better footwork than him, it's kind of easy to just step off to the side. Well, I wouldn't say easy, because clearly he's made it work thus far. Not many people have beaten him. I'm not gonna say easy. That's not the right term. It's possible to outmaneuver him, but with that kind of power, it's like you could just end up drifting into a big hook that ends up dropping you in one shot with the kind of power this dude has in his hands.
Yep. And especially Contour, since he moves a lot on the perimeter, it's something he has to look out for. With if YoBoy's able to get in front of him and put a hook there, he's going to get that movement damage off of that. So he just has to be mindful of that and try to mix up directions. And then when he does come in, he has to pivot out differently. Because if you stand in front of YoBoy, it's going to be hard. But if you're able to move and pepper him with punches, that's going to be the best chance of winning.
Absolutely. And I think Contour is one of those dudes that can do it. He's a high level elite. He moves. He has some of the best footwork I've seen in the game, honestly, thus far. The dude doesn't stop moving. He doesn't stop throwing. He is the most, I think, literal definition of this in this game of an outboxer, and it is beautiful to watch sometimes.
Yeah, his volume and the way he mixes his shots to the body and head, going downstairs, upstairs, mixing it all in, especially just exposing all of his arsenal that he has, is just really beautiful to see. Like you were saying, the outboxing.
It
Loved it.
flows so nicely.
We'll see, though, if it works against Yo Boy. Here we go with our first matchup. See how it goes.
Starting off already a big exchange with
Oh,
Contour
my
taking the
goodness.
better of it.
Yeah, I don't know if Contour wants to get in these extended exchanges with Yo Boy. I think if I'm Yo Boy in this situation, or if I'm his coach, I'm telling Yo Boy to relax and pick his shots after Contour triggers anti-spam. Because
Yo Boy
Contour's
does.
just going to throw punches and isn't going to stop. But that gives the opportunity to Yo Boy to land counters, because once you trigger anti-spam, you don't get the opportunity to counter.
Ooh. There's a big shot that landed in there for Yo Boy. Yo Boy constantly on the pressure here, forcing Contour on the back, but he hurts him again.
Ooh, a lot of clinching.
A lot of clinching here. I think another issue of a small space.
Yeah, I'm assuming they both don't. Yeah, they're not meeting regulation. But if neither of them are,
Oh. There's a
up-
knockdown for
up
Yo
to
Boy. That
them.
was a weird shot.
Dude,
it's like a
this-
double jab, right, or double straight.
I believe it was a double straight.
This is gonna be an issue, man. This is gonna be an issue. Yo Boy can't figure this out or prove this.
Oh my goodness, big shots landed in close by Yo Boy. Contour on the retreat.
Yeah, I think we just have to have both of them send. Contour's
There it
Yeah,
gone
goes
the second
again.
time
Both of them need to send their room scale spaces, but dude, Yo Boy's
before they exit. Yeah.
on the pressure. I think there's gonna be another match we're gonna have to review, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
This is
have
still
heard.
good though for Yo Boy.
What a weird-
Yeah, the smaller room scale is obviously going to be better for the power puncher in this game, especially if you don't have that footwork like we mentioned with Yo Boy. It limits Contour's ability to move around and dictate the pace.
Yeah.
That's
Not
why we
discredit.
have the regulation minimum room scale. It's just so that it's fair for both an outboxer and an inboxer.
Absolutely. Not to discredit though, both fighters definitely picking their shots very well. I think Yo Boy obviously landing the heavier shots, waiting for his chance to throw a big hook just like that. Left hook pierced the guard of Contour.
Yeah, not seeing a lot of body work from either. There was some punches in the beginning of the round that went there, but I think Contour's feeling the pressure and is trying to get the knockdown back. But that's going to put him in a worse situation.
I think he's scared a little bit to go to the body because that leaves his hands a little bit low. And that's where those big hooks come
And
in.
we got the knockout.
TKO! Yo Boy finishes Contour in round 1.
Yeah, before you guys exit, get the screenshots
Yeah.
of your room scale while you're in the game, because it'll tell us both of your guys' room scales.
We need it. We need it. We need it. We need the screenshots.
If you don't provide
know
one, you just lose by default. It doesn't. Yeah, the decision stands, right?
Yeah, probably. I don't think either of them took it.
It honestly depends on, you know, if when both fighters on the room scale space, if they're both under regulations or if it's just one of the fighters.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what you would expect if you fight Yo Boy and you don't have the room to work. He just has that power and he has that relentless pressure.
Against somebody like Yo Boy, yeah, you have to either be able to stand there with him, or you're gonna have to pray he doesn't hit you.
All right, well, while we are reviewing that matchup, possibly, we head back into the war room. See who will be the first pick here. We'll start off with our second match.
decision.
Who would you put in right now?
Right now, you gotta go with Warhawk. You gotta. He's another heavy hitter. Your first match is a little inconclusive. Technically, you did just get the round 1 TKO. You're off on a big advantage right now. Don't give up that momentum, you know? Go to somebody who can also hit hard, who's able to move around. I think your next pick just has to be Warhawk here. Try and take that 2-0 advantage so you can kind of coast the rest of it. Even if you have to throw yourself in there next and take a loss.
I would agree. I think keeping the momentum is a big factor here that Team Reapers really needs to keep hold of after that big win from Yo Boy. Was a Warhog, like you said, very strong hitter. He just has some problems trying to move around.
Pick is in fact in though. Warhog being selected like predicted for Team Ring Reapers to go up against the 5 Kage in the next matchup.
All right, just came in right now. It seems like Jester's going to take this matchup.
Ooh, Warhog
okay.
and Jester. Interesting. Boog, do you have any input on this matchup here?
I mean, it's Jester, man. It's Jester.
Yeah.
Come on, it's Jester. Come on, man.
Yeah,
It's Jester.
That footwork, I mean, I think it's just gonna have, Warhog run into some problems. And Jester does have that big experience. He's been in there with the likes of you, especially like people like hard hitters like you. He's been there with the hardest hitters in the whole entire world. So
listen, what I did to Jester doesn't really take away anything from him as a fighter. You can't say that he's not an all-time great because he also lost to an all-time great. He's still a high-level elite fighter. He still has some of the most confusing, difficult to deal with styles in the game. He's still a threat, no matter what, in what situation, whether it's on the inside, on the outside, especially on the outside. Those awkward angles, those beautiful snipes to the head, to the body. He's a problem. And Warhog, where he doesn't have as much experience in the bigger leagues. I think Warhog, not even having had his debut in UBAE before popping in on UBAE.
correct.
I don't know that he's going to be used to these, confusing styles such as Jester, where it's not that it's not technical, but it's not necessarily as orthodox as you would expect. It's not a forward-facing boxing match when you're fighting Jester. You're fighting from different frames. You're fighting from the left side of your lower body. Then somehow you're fighting a dude that's leaning back and hitting you outside of your reach.
Mm-hmm.
He hits you with the most ridiculous angles, and it looks like he's styling on you the whole time.
Yeah, it's a lot of movement he does. And I think that's what's going to be the biggest factor in this, along with the experience, of course. That's going to, disrupt the game plan of Warhog. Warhog's going to go in there, going to try to cut him off, of course, and then land those big strikes of his own.
I think supposedly Yo Boy's space was already big enough, but we'll get back to that.
Yeah, once we have more information, I think we'll just hold off on. Hopefully, it gets there before the deciding match. But like you said, I think this one is. I think Jester's the favorite in this case, stylistically. I think I fought him in one league. I fought Jester a lot, but Warhog I think I've only fought once in BCL. I think he got the better of me, but he had a lot of openings, and he was kind of on the front foot, but didn't really have the skills to cut off the ring or pivot very well. And Jess is very good at punching off balance, and that's a hard thing to time or get used to if you don't have that foundational footwork.
Absolutely. And I do think that's going to be a massive issue on his side. I think. Oh,
Starting
off with a big body shot, though. Maybe I'm wrong.
That was a good combination to start us off here. Backing up Jester a little bit.
Good exchange there to start. Jester slipping a punch, Warhog slipping all the same.
Yeah, he landed a 3-punch combo, it seemed. Jester did.
Nice jab by Jester.
Yeah, really liking this view, actually.
I remember seeing this one time. It didn't last very long, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah, we need the rematch.
This view right here.
The new and improved Jester, who hasn't really been playing as far from what I've heard.
Ooh, big left hand and close by Warhog.
Very technical and slow-paced start to the match. I think Warhog taking the better of the exchanges right now. Jester's not finding his rhythm and timing, but I think from my experience and from his last few fights, especially that DJ fight he had not too long ago, he's definitely a more slow-paced fighter, you know?
Yeah, he's definitely got the timing down now.
Oh,
he got hurt there, though.
Warhog.
Yeah, you don't want to chase Jester too much. You're going to get hit with movement damage and a counter.
Absolutely. He needs time to move in. To kind of, he needs time to establish himself in the fight, to find that timing. He's a slow starter. He'll find his rhythm and he'll do beautifully with it, but he needs time to establish it. I think that's honestly what gets him caught in a lot of these fights. You know, like that first round, I believe, against Jordan, unless he was the one that took it. I don't remember if he's the one that took it 10-8 or if it was Jordan.
He got the 10-8 in the last round. That sealed the draw.
Ah, okay.
Jester looking to pump that jab out, try to manage some distance.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lack of upper body work from Jester that he's usually like notorious for. He's being a little bit more stationary.
I believe he got stunned a little bit there because he started covering up.
He already looks fatigued. Like, this is a very, very slow start from Jester that I'm not used to.
Yeah, I do have good insider information that he's been exploring another game and hasn't been playing Thrill of the Fight as much.
Ah, I see.
That might be it.
Fat boy out of training camp.
Rust. Yeah.
He's a heavyweight with no training camp, no work, so he's literally just a fat dude. That makes so much sense.
Some shots late by Warhog, and that will do it for round one. What do you guys give that round to?
I think a very solid start for Warhog, you know? I think he landed some big shots, had Jester hurt a few times. I think conclusively, he definitely had more shots that round. I don't know if they were better shots.
Yeah, that's the deciding factor. It's hard to tell.
Because they use code UBAE, not 20% off, but 30% off for SHEATH underwear. The underwear of legends, our biggest sponsor here yet. Get you some SHEATH. Y'all need it. SHEATH UBAE 30, my bad. That's the code. SHEATH UBAE 30. My mistake.
How dare you. Project, get this guy out of my stage!
Hey, watch out.
Moving into the second round of a scheduled 3. Warhog already starting off with the activity.
Ooh, nice trade there. I mean,
shot down the pipe there for Warhog.
Jester took a nice angle there, though.
Jester finally starting to swing a little bit.
That's what he needs. He needs that unorthodox movement to come back. I feel like if he's trying to play more technical right in front of Warhog, that's the opposite of what you need to do.
Jester's jab just not seeming to find the mark right now. Am I tweaking or does Warhog look joystick?
No, he's not joystick.
It looks joystick. Wait, pay attention to the movement.
Oh, he just hopped back.
You can do that in stationary.
Oh, that's true.
It looks like he's.
Oh, some lag there.
I think I could see the vision. I don't believe he is, though. Ooh. Oh,
He
we're
hurt.
hurt now. Backs off a little bit. He goes back in with a nice three-piece combination.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
Lockdown by Jester.
Jester finally pushing the pace, you know, following instructions given from the commentators in round 1. Starting to look a lot more like the man, the myth, the legend, the threat that he used to be in this game, man.
Yeah, he just needed that first round to shake off some ring rust.
Yeah, the cobwebs are off now. He got that first knockdown so far in this fight, holding a 10-8 in the second.
Yeah, Warhawk's actually doing a pretty good job cutting off the ring. The problem is he just doesn't have the damage to be a threat to Jester right now. But he is cutting him off and keeping him on the ropes.
I don't think it's that he doesn't have the damage. I think it's that he's not able to land any power shots.
That too, yeah.
He has the damage. He just can't find it here.
Yeah, an issue with fighting someone that's more unorthodox like Jester is their biggest weakness is high quality feints. So if you can get Jester to bite on some feints, you're gonna open him up really well.
Absolutely.
But he's also doing that as well. So Jester putting his hands on like that is trying to bait you to come in, so he can land a counter with movement damage.
And it seems to work, you know, taking the round with a 10-8 with that knockdown. It's working, man.
Yes, Warhog constantly pressuring.
Yeah, Warhog not letting off the front foot here, just not letting Jester get comfortable in that ring.
Yep, okay, end of the second round. Well, clear Jester round with the knockdown. And I think even without the knockdown, based on damage, I think Jester would be ahead either way.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, that
So
was a
it all
nice
comes down
round
to
for
the last
Jester.
round. So depending on who got the first round, if Warhawk can get a knockdown in the second round, it could be his fight. If Jester got the first round, then he needs 2 knockdowns. So it kind of just depends on how that first round was scored. But at the very least, Warhawk definitely needs a knockdown in this round.
See that, yeah. Warhog definitely needs to come back here because otherwise the best he can get is a draw. When you're in a when you're in a format like this with the 3 rounds, you need knockdowns. If you get 1 knockdown, that's an instantaneous win or instantaneous win guaranteed or draw. If your opponent isn't able to get that knockdown back. So in a format like this, power is favored heavy.
Yep. And I'm always of the mindset, if it's a close round, assume you lost it. So if you assume you lost that first round, you need 2 knockdowns. And he's coming out a little bit more tentative than I would have thought. But maybe he's thinking he got that first round and just needs to win this one for a draw. Maybe he's just going for that. Because yeah, if you are Warhog, you guys are up one fight in the series. So if you get a draw, it's now 2-1. You just need 1 more win.
Yeah, all you need to do is push a draw here. You know, 5 Kage are definitely fighting an uphill battle.
But that's still, to get the draw, that still does require him to win this round. So you can't just take it off entirely.
Yeah, absolutely. You still need to work for it. But the thought is there that you could still be fighting, you know, for your team regardless of the result.
Warhog landed a nice shot in there.
Yeah,
nice blow with the right.
You don't want to just stand in front of Pesser. He's going to start getting confident in landing. Pesser's not the best on the front foot, but if you just stand there in front of him, he's going to land. Yeah, I think Warhawk definitely needs to mix it up and go to the body a little bit more. Fester's doing a good job of guarding the head.
It looks like Warhawk took a deep
Absolutely.
breath there. He's feeling it.
Warhawk starting to put on some pressure with a nice jab there. Not necessarily astonishing the crowd, but showing he can land and can land very clean on Jester. I think if he can find himself a nice sequence here, we might be able to see another knockdown in return.
Yeah, he has less than a minute to work now, so he's got to. If he really wants that knockdown, he's got to pick up that pace. If not, he still might be down this round. So especially with taking these punches now. So if he wants at least a draw, he's got to commit to something.
Yeah, there has to be some output from Warhawk here late.
He might be a
Definitely.
little gun shy because he might be a little afraid of Jester's counters right now.
Yeah, this is definitely a big name to have on your first match here into the UBA. You know, Jester is no little name. He's, I think, widely considered one of the greatest to have ever touched this game in terms of league fighting. That's name pressure right there, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to assume this is a Pester win.
Be very surprised to see if Warhawk can squeeze out a draw here.
Yeah.
Yep, Jester taking it home. I do believe only losing that first round, you know?
Yeah, I don't even know if he for sure lost that first round. Do we have the damage or? Yeah, either way, he for sure got that last round, and then the knockdown in the second round sealed it. And so now we're just the last picks are going to be in. So it's going to be Slow versus Clint. I think that's an interesting matchup. Clint, I think, has not been the happiest on this damage system, so I think he hasn't been hitting the hardest. Oh, it looks like we just got the scorecards in. It looks like Jester took every single round. So even that first round that was close, he took it by 400 damage. So, yeah, Warhawk needed to do a lot to make it that last round, and he just couldn't get it done. But doing that against Jester, I fought Jester twice in TCL. I'm 0-2 against Jester, so I know exactly how awkward he is. and how
First-hand
hard he
experience of how weird it is to fight his style.
is. Yep. But yeah, I'm interested in this matchup. Slow versus Clint, I think, is a lot closer than you might think it is on paper. Slow has been fighting in the leagues, even if he's not necessarily having the prettiest record. He's been fighting like nonstop in every league I see him fight. So he's been putting in the work. Clint Steele, he's fought in leagues as well. I don't think he's as active, but he's pretty active. So I think it just comes down to who can hit harder and find the counters.
Clint runs his own league.
Clinton has a league? Oh, I didn't know he had a league.
I've actually fought him in it. Very interesting concept. It's not like pre-recorded fights. I don't know if it's more of a league or otherwise more than just like a Clint community.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't aware he had one. But either way, if you're pre-recording it versus fighting while you have commentators talking in the moment.
Well, he does have commentators talking in the moment.
Okay, so he might be used to it at this point.
He's done live streams. He's done pre-recorded. His content's very interesting. I like it. I've fought in there before.
Yeah, so from what I remember from Clint, it's been a while since I've seen him fight. He did have a lot of movement. He tries to keep it extremely technical. I do think his damage isn't where he would like it to be right now, based on just some of what I've heard him say. Slow takes it as it comes, so if he hits hard, he hits hard. If he doesn't, he's down to brawl. So it's going to be interesting to see who pushes the pace in this fight.
Yeah, this is one of those interesting matchups, you know?
Looks like we got someone else coming onto the desk.
Hey,
Welcoming in.
I'm HP. 19 single.
Yo, get the hell out my stage.
Here for a good time.
Get
We got Clint and Slove, right?
Clint and Slove. Yup, big height mismatch. I think Slove coming in about 6'2", Clint coming in about like 5'7".
This is 5'11" versus 6 foot in this fight.
Definitely a big height disparagement.
Yeah, Clint's already digging to that body early on.
Yep, that's what I was gonna point out.
That's one of those things that Clint does beautifully. He hunts that body.
Oh, we're having a ping problem for sure.
Yeah, that was very noticeable. Unless we're gonna need to put in some GRX pens, might be having brain damage, late reactions here.
Yeah, I think he's been freezing a bit. So early signs of neurodegeneration. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
He doesn't know where he is right now. We might have to have the doctor look at him.
We promise it's not his age. It's the ping in this fight making it look this way. Clint's swinging for the fences though. He doesn't care about the ping.
Oh, Clint beating on that poor old man.
It's just a reminder, after the first round, both fighters can check the ping and have a reset if they choose to. And if they choose to fight, then we have nothing to do with it.
That's up to them.
Yeah.
And Clint pretty clearly taking the better of the exchanges, despite ping issues.
Clint freezing right in front of him. A little bit of a mannequin challenge. Late reactions again. The ping still playing a factor, but Clint is still swinging for the fences.
Yeah, we're going to have the refs look at this during the break, but yeah, Slove hitting ghosts right now. He's not going to be putting up any damage numbers by the end of this round.
It doesn't help Slove either that Clint is punching him and he's getting right out of there too. So even when he swings, he is still missing.
Yeah, Slove for sure doesn't know what's happening. Oh, and he froze.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Well, let's wait for the fighters to say what was happening.
And welcome back to the desk, everybody.
Welcome back to the analyst desk.
So, just tell me, guys, what do you think you just saw just now?
What I think we saw is somebody tried sabotaging the fight and messed with Slove's routers. So we're going to go ahead and look back at the security cameras to investigate what went down in the locker room. Who was trying to sabotage Slove's router in this one? But his ping went out, well, his Wi-Fi went out, and it reset it. So if Slove cannot continue to fight, then we will have to mark this as a loss for the Ring Reapers.
I would put it 2-2, I believe.
Yeah, Slove saying the ping was terrible, but right now we don't know if it's player to player or if it's an individual ping. If it's player to player, I think the rules say you just can't continue. But if it's an individuals, then I think they just take the loss.
Yeah, it would be 2-1. It would be 2-1.
Yeah, you're right, Buster. Who's saying it? Like, you don't know who said it.
We are sorry, majority owner. Jester, please don't fire any of us. That mistake won't happen again.
Sorry.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and check in with Slove.
I already corrected myself. I said it wasn't 2-2. This old man can't hear, man.
But bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. Give us a few short moments. All right, we will have an update going out to y'all. Ray Wilson. But even then, with the ping, Clint was swinging. He was swinging in there, and Slove just said 1 minute. It looks like we might be restarting this fight, but if the ping issue happens again, it will be moving forward with a win for Team Great Kage due to ping.
Well, I think it depends on who has the ping issue, right? Because if it's
right now it is Slove, but we will check in with Clint still right now as well too to verify.
I think we're cutting to a commercial.
After the short ad break.
Welcome back, everyone. We have both fighters ready in the lobby. We're going to resume the action after, we saw the ping issues, and I believe it might have been Slove, because Slove did express having some sort of Wi-Fi issues earlier. But either way, both fighters will confirm in this fight, and if we see it happen again, then it'll either be a no contest or a loss, depending on who is in or whoever's dealing. Here we go. Looks like Slove is good. Looks like Clint is good, and here we go. Round one restarted. 3 minutes on the clock for this fight. Slove already starting off with that jab. No noticeable ping issue here so far. Nope, never mind.
As you say, already showing signs of a ping issue. Genuinely can't be right on the commentary desk, I guess, man.
He says messing with his controller.
Yeah, I'm actively controlling this.
Yeah, I got my PlayStation controller out. I'm playing as Slove right now.
You mean the Castle Station, the Castle Station 5. Ooh, heavy right hook there from Clint off the break.
Yeah, based on this height difference, yeah, going to the body and working your way up is definitely gonna help you in the long run. Chop that tree from the bottom.
With enough chops, the tree will always go down.
Yep.
See Slove starting to swing a bit there. That ping hitting him. Looks like Clint might be hitting a lag switch.
Yeah. If Clint does want to go ahead and end the fight here and take this as a victory, I do believe he's allowed to at this point.
Oh, he can for sure. If it's definitely Slove's ping is spiking or is extremely high, then Slove does take the loss on that one. It's a technical knockout in that case.
You see Clint working in those combinations, going to the body, going up top. Also landing that left cross as well, too, off the end of the combinations.
Ooh, nice body work right there. Yeah, Clint working behind the jab there.
Yep. You see Slove trying to just walk him down with those hooks, but Clint's a little bit smaller compared to him, so he's going to slip right out of there.
Yeah, he's
seeing
trying to
some
fight
Tom and Jerry action.
Yeah.
Oh. Slove still walking him down here, or at least trying to.
Yeah, Clint's got the right idea. If ping is legitimately an issue, then a lot of movement is going to keep you safe. Because if Slove lands on his screen and there's a high ping issue, he's probably not landing on you. So lots of movement is going to help you out in the long run. But we'll see.
Looking for that left counter.
End of this round, who has the ping issue?
Coming up on the last 2 seconds in this round. Looks like damage might be taken into Clint's favor since he has been a more active fighter in this round. But we're going to go ahead and take a look into their ping as well, too. Both fighters will be taking a screenshot or at least letting us know exactly how it is. But,
Yeah,
I saw a trend in chat earlier. Those ping and room scale, stuff that they show it on the spec tool will be very helpful. But make sure to use
sure.
code SHEATH UBA30 for 30% off your next purchase of SHEATH. And it looks like Clint might have left the lobby right there. That's two restarts in a row. We're gonna go ahead and see how the ping exactly is. Who exactly was the cause of this? And we'll be having a verdict coming out real soon. Very anticlimactic end right there to that fight.
Yeah, I do think with the ping issues being pretty visibly on Slove, I think once we get the confirmation from both fighters, is that going to be disqualification there for Slove, or?
Yeah,
we're gonna go ahead and
the
see.
issue with the high ping, then yeah, it's on him. I mean, 71 for personal ping is actually pretty high, but
I think he's talking about the player to player, because I'm seeing the screenshot right now and it's looking like it might be on Slove's end here. 600 ms to 43 ms right there in the screenshot. Oh, RIP. But don't feel bad about that though. Looks like it's on Slove. That will be a loss for Team Ring Reapers, making it 2-1 for the 5 great Kage. And we're gonna go ahead and head into the war room so we can get the next fight going for y'all. And we'll go ahead and see who'll be picking their fighter first. And even though you see Kage sitting down, don't forget that it's Jester controlling him that will be making the moves today to see which of the 5 great Kages will be stepping into the face off a Reaper. Jester will be making his choice very, very soon.
looks like we got the decision coming in. You want to announce it?
Jester throwing himself in there, coming in to start off after, I believe, the reset after now that all 3 fighters have fought. It's pretty clear who, Slove is going to pick here. I think it's a pretty clear selection.
Okay, let's go ahead and see who they got. Ladies and gentlemen, HP will be exiting the commentary desk. We're gonna go ahead and welcome back Bing the King Ling. Y'all enjoy y'all's time.
Oh, I am back. How we doing? How we doing? I saw that unfortunate outcome. Was it? I had to handle some issues back there. Nick Diaz was trying to scrap with like an old grandma or something, dude.
What the?
Had to break it up.
Oh, hold on.
Time is running out for Slove here soon.
About 40 seconds left on the clock. He needs to make a decision, and he sends in Yo Boy, making a predicted matchup, and I think the biggest super fight of the matchup of the bracket. Yo Boy versus Jester, the fight that people have been wanting to see.
Yeah, this is definitely a people's fight. This is the fight I was anticipating the most. Like, I wanted this outcome to happen the most when I was looking at these teams going against each other. This fight's gonna be insane. Ooh. I'll knock you out like every round. Oh. Jester is in the lobby already. Just waiting on Yo Boy now. Now this is gonna be more interesting because, obviously we heard the controversy with Yo Boy's room skill. We'll see how Jester is gonna, deal with that, because Jester likes to fight moving around a lot, as we've seen in majority of his fights. He likes to fight behind that footwork. So if Yo Boy is able to cut him off like he was able to cut off Contour in that first round TKO, you could see something huge here for Yo Boy.
I do believe Yo Boy's room skill is finally up to standard.
Okay, good. So I had to
Did
make
we
an
ever get a
early
final
prediction.
verdict on that first fight?
I'm not sure. I believe the decision stands, maybe.
Ooh, Pester hurt already.
What a way to start.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what Yo Boy needs to do. He needs to close in the distance, make sure that Jester cannot circle around as he wants to, and impose that game plan.
Ooh.
Nice straight though by Jester.
Ooh, Pester's eating a lot of punches early.
He can't afford to do that. He needs to block these shots, because otherwise he gets dropped just like that.
Wow, big moment early for Yo Boy and Team Reapers with a first knockdown here to start us off.
Yeah, your boy's doing a good
Right
job
back on
of controlling the center of the ring. He's forcing him on the back foot and being on the perimeter, and so your boy's just setting himself up well.
Oh!
Needs use more feints, or he needs to change directions. He has to do something.
Nice stun there by Jester. On the pressure now, landing huge combinations. Nice right hand by Yo Boy. Jester returns it. Oh! Goodness, Yo Boy pressuring. You're just looking insane this fight. Action back though by Jester. Not letting up. Oh, big left hook! Down goes Jester 2-time in the first. Yo Boy searching for a TKO once again in the first round. Oh my goodness, can he do it? That would be insane to knock out Jester in the first round.
Yep.
Here in the UBAE.
Jester still struggling after all this time to deal with these power punchers. You know, not really acknowledging too many of the shots here of Yo Boy.
Jester really needs to be careful. He is down 2-0 on the knockdowns right now. Does not want to
Oh,
take
gets
it.
it back,
Evened it up.
though.
It's just one down now.
God! What
Well,
a
that was 10
flurry
seconds.
by Jester! That's exactly what Jester needed. Got some confidence back and did not get TKO.
Yeah, so that definitely went to Yo Boy for a 10-8 round. Pester was just not active enough. He was just letting Yo Boy dictate the pace, and it was letting Yo Boy come to him. So at the end, Pester made that change and was able to land those counters and was able to put him down, but he's still down one knockdown. So within the next 2 rounds, He definitely needs to get one of those back.
Yeah, but Jester did show at the end of the round, taking kind of a moral victory, showing that he can put his hands on Yo Boy and can drop him here. If that's something he can repeat in this fight, he might be able to keep up on the inside.
And of course, Yo Boy already looking to put that pressure on early. Oh, big combo by Yo Boy. Jester getting caught here on the ropes, pressured into the corner.
Oh,
Oh my God. Look at that left hook. To cut off Jester, he was trying to move out and circle. It just did not work out.
And that's something that Warhog was not good with doing. And you can see Yo Boy taking advantage every time Jester tries to circle out and take the angle. Boom, catches him with the hook on the timing that, you know, that step out, and I mean, it dropped him there.
yeah. I don't know how much experience Yo Boy has as far as boxing background. I don't think he has any. But if he doesn't, he does have really good instincts. So he is doing a good job of cutting off the ring, and he is doing a good job of trapping Pester as much as he can.
Did you see that ferocious ass flurry? Hold on, wait, no, we're finna address that. What was that?
Oh my God.
Oh, Yo Boy wanted him out.
Yeah, Yo Boy was smelling blood there. Jester was able to survive somehow. Those were some big shots.
Looked like guts. I can't lie. It looked straight up like guts, bro. That was terrifying. Yeah, I do believe Yo Boy coming here with amateur boxing experience.
Oh my God, what the?
Was that a cross counter there? I can't even tell.
I don't know what even happened. I think he was like stepping back and the punch landed while he was like pulling back a little bit.
Is that step out check hook or?
It looked like a just straight up jab to me.
Yeah, it looked like a jab, like going backwards. Either way though, Yo Boy up 2-0 again. Oh my goodness.
Jester back into the range of a possible TKO and making Jester fight an uphill battle. This last round needs to, like, one of these two rounds needs to be a TKO now.
Yeah.
It needs to be.
Did you say Yo Boy had fighting experience or no?
He does.
Oh.
I do believe.
Well, that would explain the
Jester hurt bad.
I think he's not maybe using some of his punching technique.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
he's
God.
more like, oh!
Yeah,
He's
game
definitely more of
versus
a game
reality is going to favor different punches, and he got put down by Jester this time.
And again, the same story as round one, knockdown late for Jester. But I mean, those are two dominant 10-8 rounds by Yo Boy. I mean, what are you guys thinking for Jester? I mean, he's having a lot of trouble here. He's constantly being put on the back foot, not able to really impose his gameplay in at all on Yo Boy.
Yeah, I think Pester needs to mix it up in the direction he's going. He kind of commits to one direction, and then he kind of gets caught in the corner a lot of the times because Yo Boy has good footwork and is able to cut him off. And so one way to get around that is to pivot or feint a direction. So if you're going to feint going right and then pivot out to the left, and that'll give him more space to be able to hit Yo Boy while exiting. So whether that's a straight 1-2 or just hitting a hook on the pivot. But right now, getting caught in the corner is not good for him. Yo Boy's just going to catch him.
One thing that is very difficult about that is in this game, it's very hard to feint movement. You can twitch right, but it's very easy to just pop a quick 50 damage jab out there. And if somebody starts, you know, oh, they're moving left now, hit him with a hook. In this game, there's nothing really stopping you from throwing a punch.
Ooh.
Just like that. Beautiful.
What a sequence by Jester.
Yo Boy looks like he's slowing down a bit. Maybe someone put something in his water, but let's see if he can wake up after that knockdown.
Someone, Gal. Someone.
I wonder who.
Hey, I'm on the commentary desk. I didn't do anything.
Very true, but it looks like Jester caught a second win. He is now feeling himself, landing these big combinations on Yo Boy.
Well, that ring rust is out. He's moving his head. He's taking the awkward angles. He's no longer sitting as a target, but that doesn't stop Yo Boy. The barrage.
And Yo Boy returns the favor, making it 1-1 in round 3.
He's putting his mouth guard back in.
Yeah, Pester made the
That's
mistake
what-
of just backing straight up, and then Yo Boy was able to fill the space very quickly. He needed to pivot out.
Oh no! Okay,
No,
Jester's
he's
back.
good, he's
Jester's back. I think he accidentally
Hit
Click
the
that
button on
tracking
his headset. or
Yep,
something.
I hate that stupid ass button. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. And then when you tap your controllers to the side of your headset, when it does that as well, I hate that button. Oh, Jester leaving his
Ooh.
head way too exposed. Yo boy taking the shots.
Yeah, if I'm Pester
Oh,
or his coach, I'm telling him to try to feint the shots and land when Yo Boy's open.
I think I need to see more of those unorthodox angles here from Jester,
Ooh,
just
landed
like
two
that.
here.
Boom, drifted to the left with the 1-1-2, rolled under, and got caught for
what
it.
a right hook! Oh my god! Yo Boy now having 1 minute left in the round to get a TKO once again.
Yeah, uphill battle for Jester. He needs 2 more knockdowns, and he needs to survive that fire without getting dropped himself now. Because it's over at this point. If he loses, another
Oh my god!
an impossible TKO here for Yo Boy. And Yo Boy came in here on timing tonight.
Oh my god!
That ferocity from Yo Boy. Another big shot landed for Yo Boy, getting through the guard of Jester, who's swinging like a maniac.
Yeah, Pester has to go all out if he wants any chance of winning, but that also puts him at risk. So
Last final seconds of the fight.
Feels like he's just not picking his shots anymore. He's just kind of swinging and hoping for a big knockdown shot here, but it's over at this point. Yo Boy has won.
Oh my god! The MVP of UBA Week 2, Day 2, the Ring Reapers.
Man, definitely showing out. Dark horse of the season.
looks like the final fight right here.
You know what I kind of want to see? I kind of want to see Warhog Clint.
Yeah, I think that's the matchup you just have to put in. Honestly,
Dude, I really want to see Warhog Clint. I think that'd be a really interesting fight.
yeah,
Ooh, Slove throwing in Warhog.
yeah. Either Clint or Contour, I think, are going to make a good match here.
Seems we haven't seen a lot of Slove tonight.
Yeah,
Having
I
those
don't think
connection
Slove
issues.
should put himself in just in case his Wi-Fi goes out again. You don't want to lose.
Yeah, I think it's
because of
fair
it.
to not want to risk your team on your internet. Ooh, and the pick is in for the 5 great Kage once again, going to their classic Contour, their starter and their finisher
Ooh.
for tonight.
This is gonna be interesting, boys. Ah. Oh, what is going on with my thing? Oh, all right, I'm good. I feel like this is a more before when we were talking about how Warhog and Jester was gonna go. I think this is more of a watered down version of that. I think was it I think was it Contour? I wouldn't say like fully watered down, but you know what I'm trying to say. I think Contour was obviously gonna look for those big, make sure of the shots. He's gonna mix in the body shots, obviously. Well, at least try to, and try to mix it into the head as well. Using that shot selection. But Warhog, I mean, he didn't look that bad against Jester tonight, so we'll see if that little warm-up matchup helps him to end off strong here against Contour.
Yeah, Warhog showed his straights are accurate. He's able to find them through the guard, able to find them when you drop your hands. Contour's got to stay sharp here. Warhog could just hit him with the combination that, he couldn't land on Jester.
Yeah, this one's going to be an interesting one to see how Contour adapts to this style.
I mean, he did struggle against a power puncher here earlier when Yo Boy, but I would say that Yo Boy does have more shots in his arsenal to try to get the knockdown down, down to T. But Warhog still has that power in his gloves. I mean, if any of those big shots land, it's just gonna put you on wobbly legs.
Yep.
This being the tiebreaker, the last fight of the night.
I did kind of call this early on that this one was going to be a ticket to 5 matches, so it is that close.
Absolutely, a good prediction indeed. Yo Boy definitely taking an MVP status, I think, of tonight. Beautiful movement starting off here for Contour. I think Warhog landing some nice shots through the movement. He's not losing track.
You can see Warhog trying to cut off Contour there, but then he just kind of cut him off and stood in front of him. He didn't really cut him off and throw any punches.
Nice jab there by Warhog.
Despite both fighters definitely being a lot more active, it still feels like a slower paced fight. You see a lot of range, see a lot of distance, counter shots. There's timing to this.
Yeah, definitely when you compare it to any fight Yo Boys, then anything's gonna feel slow. But they are trying to feel each other out. Both of which
nice
I think
shots landing from Contour.
Yeah, Contour's definitely getting the better of these exchanges.
Being cutting off Galp about as well as Warhog is cutting off the ring here for Contour.
My bad, Big G.
Good.
Contour struggling to get out right now.
Yeah, that was a weird reaction too. I think that was a big shot that landed by Warhog that caused that weird reaction by Contour.
Definitely looking a bit suffocated in there. Contour is looking to find his shots in between.
Yeah, punching in between punches. Yep,
Oh!
Set him up with the counters.
I believe that was a short left hand by Warhog.
Yeah, he landed like 3 punches in between Contour's punches. So he was getting those right on the chin. He built up that punishment. Yeah, I think this movement is throwing Contour off.
Ooh, sharp shots to the body for Contour. Now starting to push the pace, realizing he needs to get that knockdown back, and he's fighting for it.
Yeah, but he's...
he
he gets it!
There it is!
Wow. What an exchange for Contour. The rush down works.
I mean, he just started going on Warhog. He was landing shots to the body, to the head, and then that left hand ended it. Made it 1-1 in the first.
I think with that stack up of damage at the end of the round, I think that won him the round.
Probably. That's the downside of, like, if you try to survive when you knock the other person down, sometimes you just end up taking too much damage, and if you happen to go down too, you end up losing the round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I agree. Contour probably took that just off of the activity at the end.
Definitely.
But leading up to that, they were both doing really well, filling each other out, landing good punches. I'm interested to see who can adapt better in the second round.
Absolutely. I think Contour coming in with a little bit of IRL experience, so having the IQ, having the boxing knowledge, I think, to come in, know what he needs to adjust, know what he needs to change. Like Jester just stated in the chat, he's a bit of a slow starter. He needs time to get into a match, to find your rhythm, to find your timing. And slow starter is a very, very loose term here, considering how beautifully he just landed that last sequence in the first round.
Yeah, if I'm
Yeah,
not
that was nice work.
mistaken, Warhog had also said he had at least some experience. I don't know how much that is, to be fair, but he did say he at least had some boxing experience as well. So we're seeing two people that have at least some experience outside of the game fighting. And you can kind of notice that based on how they're both trying to take angles on each other. Warhog's trying to cut him off a bit. We're seeing some good stuff. I do think there's some stuff that maybe they're just leaving to the game, but that's fair because that's what we're playing.
This unfortunately is not IRL boxing. This is actually a game,
Oh, for sure.
contrary to some people's beliefs.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not saying you should even try to fight like it isn't. But we are seeing what having even a little bit of experience, because I don't know to what depth either of them have, can set you up well with footwork. So this is one of we're seeing a lot of footwork battles here relative to some of the other fights.
And a lot of movement by Contour, too. He's been moving on the back foot well so far with those counters. There it is right there.
Ooh.
Nice shots landed by
Beautiful
Contour.
step off to the
Ooh, the
angle.
body work too is great.
Caught him before Warhog could turn and face him. I think Warhog's slowing down. Before, in the first round, he was tracking him. It seems that now it's like he's not able to track Contour as much anymore. It could be a ping issue. It could be a slowing down of Warhog, a little bit of fatigue. But that step off angle, that's something that Contour wasn't able to do in the first round. And now it's like Warhog struggling to keep up with him.
Yeah, so the benefit that Warhog has being in the center.
The same mistake. I said Warhag too.
I think I copied you. Yeah, Warhog having the center of the ring does let you travel the shortest distance possible to catch your opponent. But at the same time, with ping, you kind of have to get your punches in front of where they're moving. Otherwise, you're not going to be landing, even though you're landing on your screen. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. It looks hurt here.
Beautiful, beautiful jab through the guard. Once again, Contour is so good at picking his shots.
Yeah, Contour looking very sharp this round ever since the end of the first. Doing very well so far.
Ooh.
Oh,
I don't know who got countered there.
I think it was Warhog that landed.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, so Warhog, I think, probably has to pick up the pace at this point. He either needs to feint his way in or, yeah, try to go to the body, come up top. Because I think now he's down, right?
Yeah, he's absolutely down this time around. He needs to catch up.
I mean, if we're right that he was down in that first round, I'm pretty sure he's for sure down that second round. So it all comes down to this round. So he needs at least 2 knockdowns. Well, at least 1 knockdown for a draw, but then...
Yeah, he can't afford a draw here. It's 2-2. He needs a decisive win.
I think we would go to a tiebreaker then, because it would be 3-3.
This is the tiebreaker. I think it'd just be a straight up draw. Like a straight up draw.
Oh, okay. So we can have a draw if we have... Okay.
Believe so.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
defined.
Use code SHEATH
Okay.
UBA 30 to get 30% off of your next purchase with SHEATH, our biggest sponsor yet.
So we did just get ruling from the refs. If they do get a draw, it does end up being who got the most damage. So I think if I'm Warhawk here, I'm assuming I'm down in damage the last 2 rounds. So I definitely have to make it up here.
Yeah, Warhog has a big uphill battle here to chase. I think he's already, like you said, pointed out, he's down. He needs to bring that knockdown back. He needs to bring it home for his team, because otherwise, I mean, even if it just goes to a draw for damage here, I still believe Contour's up.
Ooh, big left hook landed in close by Warhog.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if Warhog's just tired and that's why he has lowered activity, or he's just becoming hesitant because Contour is landing counters as he's throwing. Ooh, nice.
Both fighters wrapping around each other a little bit here.
Yeah, Contor's trying to do counter off or pivot off, and that's good. But it's mainly working because Warhog isn't punishing him for that. So Warhog kind of needs to either push him into a corner and keep him there, or if you're gonna have let Contour come in, you have to pay for it on the way out.
Sure.
But yeah, now Warhog's just following him instead of trying to trap him or set him up with something good.
Something I think that needs to be
hurt.
noted.
He's hurt.
Almost said Yobo. Oh, a little bit of a questionable roll, but I think that was just a bit of a pinkish. I don't think Contour looked anywhere near him when that clinch happened.
Yeah, it was a bit questionable, but if I'm Warhog here, I just push for it. Punishment to the body still stacks, so even though the body stuns aren't really there, you can use it to build up the punishment and then go back up top with the stuns.
That is very true. Brings down the hands a little bit too.
I'm looking here at the jab of Contour, and it's like every time he goes down, every time he throws that jab, you see him rapidly slip. And it's not like it's, it's not like it's jab then slip. He throws the jab, and it's like he teleports his head. He's fast with it. That head is never in the same spot more than once.
Yeah, trying to keep it off the center line. The last final seconds of the fight. And that will do it.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's a Contour win.
Yeah, in all likelihood, a Contour win here.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ring Reapers taking it home. Big win there for Contour to end it off.
Yeah, that was a very close 5-match series. It went all the way to 5. But yeah, this last round was definitely not close when it came to damage. It was almost 2,000 damage difference in favor of Contour. But the entire series as a whole, yeah, like I mentioned early on, depending on the matchups that happened, there was a lot of counters to who you were able to match up. And I think we saw that with, for example, Jester was able to win in a good fashion, and then against Yoboy lost hard. So there was definitely some stylistic matchups at play, and I think it led to a great series.
Yeah, there was some very
solid competition there. Yoboy coming in as an MVP for the team. I think starting to look like Rico in the Winter Cup. He's going on that type of a run right now.
Yeah, that was very nice there. Was it? But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching, and thank you for the competitors that showed up here tonight. We had some very good matchups, but that will do it. We're going to be heading off here. We have a small little press conference that will be going live shortly, so stay tuned.
Yeah, roughly 5 minutes.
It couldn't be real, that a real league would never work. But we kept showing up. And every time we got knocked down, we built it anyway.
And Ringside VR can finally call themselves the best league in the world. They will take home $500.
Would there be any team to give RSVR a run for their money next season? Hey guys, we're introducing the first team-based VR boxing league the esports scene deserves. A structured professional league built for real competition and lasting stories. 8 teams will participate in a 5-month season with 2 splits and 1 championship playoff to end the season. Outside of the matches, fighters, members, and staff will participate in all forms of media productions, such as the analyst desk, commentary, award shows, ad shoots, backstage interviews, press conferences, and much more, so that everything feels connected and alive. Why does this matter? When most VR tournaments end, everything resets. Narratives disappear, rivalries fade, nothing carries forward. We built UBAE to fix that. A league where teams and players are able to build their own legacy and become the star they've always wanted to be. This isn't a concept, it's already happening. With over 22 events produced and over 300 active fighters, weekly broadcasts and events, and 1,500 members. To support our vision for a narrative-focused team-based VR boxing league, we're looking to raise $5,000 to fully launch Season 1, which allows us to have more broadcasts, a bigger prize pool, consistent content, and expanded production inside the VGA hub. Backers get recognition, access, and a permanent place in the league's history. Back to Kickstarter, join the 24-hour live stream, and be there when Season 1 begins.